I'm in the middle of trying to post something else too, so hold on, everyone. Sorry, we're going live right now, but I'm in the middle of also trying to post that one live, so everyone knows. Um, I got behind the schedule. Oh, things aren't posting like it's supposed to. Give me 1 second. Hope everybody is having a wonderful evening. I know we're doing another late show, but it's a necessity because that's how my time worked today. And like that, I'm finished. Sorry about that. Welcome to another episode of Martial Arts Movie Mondays, show where we take a deep dive into one of my movie collection up here, my martial arts movies, old and or new, and we discuss not only the movies, uh, fun facts about the movies, but also um, what I think about the movie, but also how it may have affected my martial arts journey as a martial artist myself. Before you do that, before we dive into this video, please make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. The more content, more people subscribe, more fun stuff we got giveaways to give to you. Like right now on our website, we're giving away copies of the Joker on 4K, Gemini Man on 4K, Maleficent, Mistress of Evil. Normally I make fun of the name, but my wife's not here, so I probably just said it wrong anyway. Digital copies. Hopefully I have a couple other things that are going to be popping up, but you got to go to our website at hollywoodmatrimony.com for that. But to get more of that stuff, you got to hit the subscribe button so we get more stuff to give you. So today we're talking about one of my faves. If you've watched the show before, you already know I'm a fairly big Jean-Claude Van Damme fan, all the way back from his old stuff from Bloodsport, a little dance number in the very original Breakin' movie. He's in the background for that. All things Jean-Claude Van Damme. I recognize there's a lot of movies over there in the middle between now and Bloodsport days that were a little off. He was like a massive blockbuster draw with Bloodsport and Time Cop and Lionheart and Kickboxer and Double Impact and even movies like The Quest that may not have done as well, but they did. Double Team, which is one of the later ones. Knockoff and Double Team, I think, were two of his last kind of big ones that did here that didn't do as well, but they were kind of when things were tapering off. But one of my favorites of all of his movies that he's ever done, probably my favorite one that he's done, really outside of Bloodsport. Bloodsport's kind of, it's obviously straightforward martial arts fighting and tournament stuff, and we introduced him. And you also got Bolo, which Bolo is always awesome. But one of my favorites, if not my favorite Van Damme movie of all time, is none other than Hard Target. I love Hard Target for numerous reasons. The movie came out in, oh Lord of mercy, 1998. There's a couple things I loved about this movie to start right off the bat. One, they shot the entire thing in New Orleans, French accent. So for the first time, you just kind of let it go. That's just him. You know, he's never tried to play anybody but the accent. He tried to Americanize his accent. But this movie, the accent kind of seamlessly blended with the character a little bit better. It also has Lance Henriksen. I'm a huge fan of as the villain. Arnold Vosloo, who I believe he's the one that went on to play the Mummy, the Brendan Fraser movies. And then you have what's her name, Yancey Butler, who she did a lot of different things, but she was in the short-lived Witchblade TV series. It was based off the Top Cow Image comic that I was a fan of at the time. And surprisingly enough, it's also got Wilford Brimley, diabetes himself, Wilford Brimley, who I've actually met in person. Is a lovely, lovely man. But what makes this movie not only great but important is this was also John Woo's very first American film. John Woo, known for Hard Boiled and movies like that, with Chow Yun Fat, very stylized. Since then, he's done Mission Impossible 2 and Face Off, and I think, did he do Broken Arrow? I don't remember if he did Broken Arrow or not, but he's done a lot of different movies since then in his big action style. But this was his first. This was kind of launched him, and it was a lot of fun stories behind the scenes about how they butted heads. There was concerns. I believe they said they hired Sam Raimi to be kind of a backup director / consultant on the film. He was really there because in case stuff with John Woo didn't work out, Sam Raimi could finish the film. Sam Raimi, the Evil Dead and the Spider-Man trilogy, the first Spider-Man trilogy. But it was funny because a lot of the stories came out of a big concern of the fact of Van Damme's English not being great and John Woo's English not being great, and them struggling to just talk together. But it's one of those movies that's got great actions. It's vintage Van Damme. He also was sporting an earring, and at the time he wears kind of a big earring. I mean, obviously I wear earrings now, but he was sporting this one big hoop. And at the time, I wore the exact same hoop. I only had the one earring. It was big. I had longer hair then, so I had very similar hair to his. It's the power mullet vibe he had, where it was slicked back like mine is now, but then it was long in the back. So business in the front, party in the rear. So I just connected with all the women. And then you added Van Damme in general. It was just awesome. Great vintage old school action. There's a couple of scenes that are right there in the street where he's fighting some guys. There's two separate scenes. There's one where you first meet Chance, and he kind of sticks up for Yancey Butler's character and beats the crap out of some guys, and they shoot it in slow motion. Van Damme was one of the reasons that I became obsessed with kicking more so than I might have otherwise in martial arts. So I became obsessed with the jumping, spinning hook kicks and high hook kicks and high side kicks and splits and all those different things. And so in this movie, it even showcased it even cooler way because they did a lot of it in slow motion. So like there's a scene where a guy's running at him. He does like a spinning hook kick into the back of the guy's head, knocks him through a window into a building. That's kind of cool looking. Then he does a spinning hook kick sweep with a guy standing on the hood of the car. Then he kicks him, and as the guy's falling, he still pulls his legs. It's just a lot of really great shots, but also there's some ridiculous moments too. There's actually a moment where Van Damme is like riding on a motorcycle and he's shooting at some people, and he stands up on the motorcycle while it's driving down the street. Not to say that somebody like a trick motorcyclist couldn't do that. It's just ridiculous, but it was awesome. And it's got the vintage doves that John Woo liked. So you can find a lot of his stuff. But there's just some great shootout moments. I've always heard that the story, there's another cut of this, maybe not another cut, but there's another a lot of unused footage that they cut out because I heard that a lot of the movie focused on Arnold Vosloo and Lance Henriksen's character, and Van Damme was like, no, this is a Van Damme movie. And so him and the producers like locked themselves in the editing room and re-edited it to get the movie we have here. And so there's footage that we don't have, that we haven't seen, that I would love to see, like a director's cut or an extended cut of this movie. But it's vintage Van Damme. It's vintage old school action. Lots of shooting, gun-toting craziness. What is that lady's name? Hold on, I gotta pull her up. Ironically enough, there's a lady in this movie, and I didn't realize this until just recently. She's the police officer, but hold on, let me pull it back up. I was not prepared. I forgot about this part. I'll pull it up. I believe. Come on. One moment. She plays a main character in the movie, who's the police officer. So you have Van Damme and Yancey Butler and Wilford Brimley, who plays Uncle Dubé, or super hardcore, thick Cajun accent. It's very silly, but he uses a bow. Detective in this movie. She is more known as a director nowadays, and I didn't realize until just recently. Oops, something wrong with my connection. It's not letting me do what I want here. There we go. She just directed the movie Harriet, which follows Harriet Tubman. So the director of Harriet is actually one of the stars of Hard Target. Obviously, earlier career was she's a straightforward actress. Now she's a director, directs a big movie that's the lead is nominated for an Academy Award. So that's another kind of little fun fact, which I always find it interesting to see where these people's careers have kind of bounced around, becoming actors into directors or producers, or vice versa, being a director became an actor, or a stuntman became an actor, or whatever. Anyway, first Hard Target, so good, so good. I love this movie. It's got a lot of cheese, great fighting though, great action. There's even a sequence where Lance Henriksen's jacket gets caught on fire, and it's his fire wasn't supposed to happen. His jacket actually caught on fire. He just kept doing the scene and threw his jacket off, so it's like a real cut. And then there's a great moment in the movie that I always loved where he's hitting Van Damme with this flaming board, and Van Damme's finally had enough. He just catches the board on fire with his bare hand, shows how much of a badass he is. And so this is one of those I would have loved to see a Hard Target 2 with Van Damme. Sadly, we didn't get that. But years and years and years later, we did get Hard Target 2, but this time with Scott Adkins, who, as everybody that's ever watched one of these shows, any of our shows knows, I'm a huge, huge, huge Scott Adkins fan. And what's really funny is Adkins has done a few movies with Van Damme. I think The Shepherd, one of the Universal Soldier movies. He was in The Expendables, but I don't think they were in the same one together, were they? Yeah, maybe they were. I think they were in Expendables 2. And now he's in this movie. Like when he made his Universal Soldier movie, it's Van Damme, Dolph Lundgren, and Scott Adkins. In this case, this is Scott Adkins taking on a different role. Hopefully, sorry, my things keep saying unstable, so hopefully you're hearing all this. But anyway, Hard Target 2, which came out in, I guess I could pull it up if I wanted to, but I don't really want to. I guess it's not that important. It's only came back a couple of years ago. Let me see if it pulls it up for me, and I can give you the exact time. But this is it's another one of those. Who directed this one? I don't know who that one. I can't read this stupid box. This is one of these boxes bad. Whoever designed this did bad writing on the cover box. But anyway, Hard Target 2 is really only a sequel in name alone. It is its own thing. It still uses the same kind of 2016 is when it came out. It's another same idea of people hunting someone else. So if you don't know the story of Hard Target, I guess I should have told you that. It's essentially they're taking these homeless people, and these rich guys pay to hunt the homeless people. And so Hendrickson and Vosloo are the people that run this business, and they're hunting people and killing them. And the one guy that gets murdered, his daughter, is the one that's looking for her dad, and they found out he's murdered, and Van Damme gets involved, and blah, blah, blah. The second one is different, completely different set of characters. Nobody's supposed to be playing the same person. Offered money to fight in Malaysia, but when he gets there, he realizes he's actually a target for them to hunt. He's not, it's not so much of a normal fight. So this was a little different setup, but still tons of action, guns, martial arts, all that kind of stuff. I don't like this movie as much as I love the original, but that's because of my Van Damme love. I love Scott Adkins, and in this one, he gets to do kicks and fights, and it still holds up as like an old school action flick. So it's weird because when you get a sequel, you want it to be connected to the original, right? But in this case, it's really just taking the same story. There's some tropes in it that are similar to the original movie, like they're making nods that the original exists and what they did with it while doing their own movie. But they could have completely changed the title of this movie and it been something else, and it would have still worked. I like that they call it Hard Target 2 because, you know, it could be the mythology, and who knows if they ever wanted to circle back to make a third one. We know that's not going to happen, but they could circle back, and they could bring this guy back and Van Damme back and team them up. So they've both been through this thing and somehow connect the games together with some other thing as they're bringing them down. I don't know. Maybe I just wrote Hard Target 3 and I won't get any credit for it. But Hard Target 2 works. It's also got Rooney. I would say some of their people's names wrong. Rona Mitra, which I believe she was in one of the Underworld movies. I believe she was in part 3, which is the one, the flashback movie. I don't remember what it's called. And Robert Nepper, which I think is the K Silent, who I love that guy from Prison Break and pretty much everything else. He plays more of the Lance Hendrickson villain type, and he kind of mimics Hendrickson's character from the first movie, but he's kind of his own version of it without being that character. But it's a great little movie as well. If you just like good old school hardcore, both of them are kind of the same thing. They're both martial arts action flicks. They're old school fighting. But this first one, this one also gave me a lot of ideas as a martial artist on when I was doing demos and one steps and stuff, and one step sparring and selling techniques and stuff. So there's a lot of techniques like the spinning hook kick to the back of the head through the window. I've used that in kind of one, so it's not the window part, but I've used that in some of the demo stuff I used to do, where somebody punch, instead of just straight block, I could block from this way and end up spinning and kicking in the back of the head. Was got from this movie, and you get all the same vintage. So, but it's cool to have two of my favorite martial arts actors actually in two different films that are the same series, even though they have nothing to do with each other. But this one still holds up. Is my favorite Van Damme movie. I rewatched it again. Still loved it. Still had a blast with it. If you've never seen Hard Target, you need to check it out. It even says on here, Hard Target hits the bullseye big time. I don't know what that means. It says, don't hunt what you can't kill. What is this? Does this have anything up? This one says absolutely nothing. Oh, that's not good. They don't give any kind of things. Anyway, both of them are available, Blu-ray, DVD. I don't know if this one's on Blu-ray or not. I honestly don't know. I have the DVD, obviously, so I don't know if it's on Blu-ray or not. I'm assuming it probably is. But obviously, Hard Target 2 from Universal, it hasn't been out just a couple of years, so it's obviously on DVD. Maybe they'll put out a two-pack of course. Maybe they'll put out a two-pack so you can get both movies in one. You can check it out. But again, they don't have anything to do with each other. They're two completely separate movies outside of the idea of the story. But Hard Target 1 is the best. Hard Target 2 holds up on its own thing. All right. So that's going to be it today. It's a short one, following a couple movies that I love. As always, if you want to hear me talk about a specific martial arts flick, hear what I think about it, if you want to hear how it may or may not have inspired me, please hit me up. Let me know whether you comment on the video or you just shoot me a personal private message or post on our Facebook page at Hollywood Matrimony, on our Twitter, wherever you want to post it. I'll be glad to look into it. I try to stick to stuff I own. So like there's one movie I really, really, really want to do, but someone took the movie and I only have the box now. I don't even think I have the box anymore. I think I finally got rid of it. So I don't own the movie anymore. So I've held off on actually doing a review of it because I have nothing to hold up to show you to say, look, it's out of my collection. Right? It defeats the purpose of this. But have no fear. I have so many martial arts movies in this collection that it's going to take quite a few shows before I even get close to finished. Because if you look at, we'll say, the second row down, right? So we come down over here from the top, right? That entire thing all the way over here area, as well as half the one up there, are all martial arts flicks. And that's just the DVDs. So when you go into the Blu-ray section, they're all alphabetized, but there are tons of Blu-rays. They go from here down. They go from here down. And there's a ton of them that are martial arts related in there that we'll get to as well. I already know which one we're doing next week. Next week is a brand new movie that is just coming out next week. So but when I do it, it'll be the day before it's actually publicly released. So it'll be a new film instead of one of the older ones. So we'll talk about it. And it stars everybody's favorite Jackie Chan. So I'll talk about it next week. I haven't watched it yet. Don't know if it's good. I'll be checking it out the next day or so and then bring it to you live next week on Monday for another new episode of Hollywood Matrimony's Martial Arts Movie Monday. Hopefully I can get to it during the day. I'm back in training, and so between work and trying to fit my workouts in, and I got a new art deadline coming up. I got to drop weight. I got to get trained. I got to do my meal preps. So I may end up having to do a lot of these late night shows. But we'll see what happens. Anyway, thanks for watching as always. Don't forget, be here tomorrow for another episode of TV Tuesdays with me and the missus. We got all kinds of stuff to discuss, I'm sure. I honestly don't remember what TV shows I've watched new. So hopefully she'll know, but I've got some news to tell you about different TV things. Then we'll be back for another episode of Hollywood Matrimony Live on Sunday, right here on this YouTube channel, as well as our Facebook Live Facebook page. And don't forget, go to our Facebook page at Hollywood Matrimony. You can find us on the Twitter at Hollywood Matter, M-A-T-R, as well as the Instagram, Hollywood Matrimony. And please, like I told you at the beginning of this, don't forget to hit the subscribe button here. There's a little orb that'll pop up. There's a trailer that'll pop up. And please help us support our site. The more we get traffic we get for us, the more stuff we get back to give to you, the content and the fun, movie passes, Blu-rays, DVDs, all kinds of stuff that we get out that we get to give back to you. It's not just stuff they send me. They send me prize stuff. So like right now we have, I told you at the beginning, we have Joker on 4K we're giving away. We got Gemini Man on 4K with Will Smith that we're giving away. We got Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, digital copies we're giving away, and hopefully be a few more here in the next week or so. So please, please, please go to our website, subscribe there. But big thing right now, you're watching this one, hit that subscribe button on this page. Tell your friends. And like I said, if you want to hear me talk about a specific movie or how it affected my martial arts career, let me know, and I will see you next time. Remember, hit the subscribe button, watch whatever video, and always, always, always keep your hands up. Talk to you soon. Thank you. Sweaty Cop. Goodbye. Boom.